Hey everybody, Shane Beauregard, your personal trainer here, coming at you with another live Q&A. And like with every episode, my kids will be walking in about 10-15 minutes. So just be aware that there is going to be some commotion in the background. And as always, if you like the content of my Facebook page, please share it with your friends, like it and then share it, and we can get more people involved. We can get this thing moving in the right direction. So I do appreciate everyone who tunes in and listens on a weekly basis. So, and if I do look tired, it's because virtual school started this week. And it's been a long week with virtual school. And I could probably spend a half hour talking to you about that, but I won't. So let's kind of get into it a little bit off the bat. My first question I had was, how do you find a trainer? How do you find and then select a personal trainer? What qualifications should you look for, and what red flags should you look for? Now, if you're new to an area, let's say if you're a transplant and you're moving in, or if you're just in your town, it works both ways. What I normally do is you go to that gym's website, go to their trainer section. Every gym has a trainer section with the profile and their bio in it. Just take a look at their specialties and their backgrounds, their education, their certifications. Like I said last week, they should have at the end of their name either a NSCA, ACSM, NASM, NASM, and ACE. Can't say that too fast because that's a mouthful. They should at least have that, and they should be current in their CPR and AED certifications. So that's very important as well because they're in charge of your safety and well-being. So that's your first step. Just go to your gym or website, look at the trainers' profiles, bios. If they have the correct certifications and qualifications that you're looking for, you set up a session with them. Now, normally, I can't speak for every trainer out there. First, you have your initial consult, and it's very important that you both, the trainer and the client, are on the same page on what you're mapping out and what your goals are. So very important you both are in the same mindset about what you're trying to achieve in the gym. Okay. From there, just make sure you set clear expectations, the trainer with the client and vice versa. And like I said, not every trainer does this. I do it, and I think the majority does it as well. I always give the first session just a free session, just a feeling out process, because honestly, sometimes you may not mesh with that client. The client may not mesh with you, depending on your personality, where it does come into it. Personality, personal trainer comes into it. So look for that fit, and don't be afraid if you're in a gym that has multiple trainers. After that one session, you want to go ahead and try somebody else. Hey, go do it. It's no hurt feelings here. If you fit in with somebody else, that's perfectly acceptable. Don't be afraid, because another key that you should look for with your trainer is clear communication. Not while you're training, but anything that comes to your mind, just communicate it with your trainer. Again, that goes with being on the same page. Like, they need to know, besides what your goals are, like what's going on injury-wise, if you're feeling a certain way. So we could always work around that kind of stuff and get you going. So very important, communicate with your trainer always, and always disclose any minor injury you may have. It's very important, because if the trainer doesn't know and has you do certain movement, you can literally turn that little problem into a bigger problem. So always communicate with your trainer. Now, me personally, sorry there. While you're on the training floor with your trainer, some red flags. I pride myself on professionalism, first and foremost. When I'm on the floor with my client, you won't see my cell phone anywhere in sight. You are my 100% focus. So if your trainer's like wandering eyes around the gym, really not locking into what you're doing, not correcting your form, not giving you feedback, if he or she's always on her phone, major red flags right there, because they don't have your best interest in them. So look for that. If you have a trainer that's always on the phone, to me, that's the biggest issue I see right now, is trainers constantly looking at their phones. And again, if you have a client you've been working with forever, and that's kind of like, and you're talking about sports scores or something like that, and you're always pulling it up, and that's part of your conversation, that's cool. But don't let it distract you from your actual session. So those are some red flags you should look for, because nowadays, too, with everything, the situation that everybody's in, and if you go to the right places online, just make sure you sift through all those Instagram wannabe fitness gurus, because there's no way to really check what certifications, what qualifications they have outside of looking good without their shirt on or in a sports bra. So, and they may be able to string together a little nice routine, but one, you don't even know if they're writing that routine. They're just doing it. And again, they're not a lot of them aren't qualified, and you're putting your health and safety in their hands. So if you want to roll that dice, you go right ahead, but always check for experience too. And just ask the trainer like what his specialties are, what goals he has in mind for you. Because nowadays, there's kettlebells and there's TRXs, and some trainers are more familiar with those than others. So yeah, that's what you should look for in a trainer, especially. And if you're leaving town, this is what I tell some of my clients. So if you're moving, let's say to Chicago, most trainers have a database through whatever foundation they're in. Like NSCA has a database of other NSCA trainers. So I can actually look to see who's in that area and give you a list of names and numbers, and you could go look them up yourself. So I've done that in the past as well. So thank you, Sally, for that question. And the next one I had, and feel free to comment below in the comment section. I swear I'll try to pay attention to that instead of being in my own zone. Next one I had was, what would be some good equipment to have in a home gym with a budget and one without a budget? Again, if you have a budget, obviously I mentioned this before, is tubing off the bat. It's going to cost you anywhere from $39 to $50. You can do a lot of variety of exercises with those and get a short dumbbell rack, but you're going to have to wait till September or October for that. Most of those racks are equipped with 10 to 25 pounds. And get just a regular bench. You don't have to get the one where you're bench pressing, just a regular flat bench, or in a yoga mat I would get for stretching and activities such as that. But with the dumbbells, you can do a lot with the bench as well. And those, you can find those on the cheap. So essentially that's what I would have in some super bands, which are just big rubber bands. They range from anywhere from $19 to $40. So I would have an array of bands, tubing, light dumbbells, and a bench. Also, you have to work within what you have, square footage, or what workout space you have. That's another important variable in this. Now, if you don't have a budget and you have a very sizable workout spot, I would invest in power blocks. So they're the interchangeable weights. You've seen them. They range anywhere from $895 to about $1,200. They range from up to 55 pounds to 95 pounds, and it's basically a stack of weights. You take pins out and you just move them in different weight increments, and then you pick them up and lift them. So it leaves a very small footprint for you to have other equipment. I would invest in a couple of kettlebells. Just, you could get single ones. You don't need to get doubles with everything. Those are a little bit easier to find nowadays than dumbbells, so go invest in some kettlebells. Cardio equipment, I would invest in a spin bike and or a old school Airdyne Schwinn bike. Again, to get your cardio and get your heart rate going, and they do have smaller footprints than, let's say, a treadmill. Or you can go with a concept rower, because even though they lengthwise it takes up some space, but you can store it vertically. So that would be another good piece of equipment to have. So outside the power blocks, the spin bike, the rower, that's pretty much all you need. I mean, again, if you are lucky enough to have like a workout garage and you had the funds, go ahead and get a squat rack. That's what I would recommend. You could do a lot in a squat rack. So that is what I would get with budget and without a budget. All right. And I had some questions about supplements, which I'm not talking about herbs. I'm just talking about straight supplements like creatine, stuff like that, of that nature. Be careful with the supplements. A lot of stuff out there. Yes, sorry. TRX. I had that and I blanked on it. This goes if you do have a budget and you don't have a budget. TRX is great. Developed by, I think, some Navy SEALs to take on them in deployment. It's a suspension trainer, so it hooks into your door, and you got handles. It's very versatile. You can do a lot of exercises with that, cardio-based and strength training. that is a great tool to have. I have one myself, and those range, I believe, $129 to $149 in that range. So yes, that would be high on my list after probably the tubing, to be honest with you, because again, takes up very little space, stores easy, and put away. Thank you for reminding me of that. Where was? Oh, supplements. Yeah, a lot of stuff out there is, just be honest with you, is voodoo. A lot of it's voodoo. Yeah. Personally, the only thing I take for myself is a protein powder. I take glutamine, which is an amino acid for recovery. That supplement has been proven in laboratories to work for recovery. You can go ahead and take some branched chain amino acids. Those have been proven to work. That aids with muscle recovery as well. Outside of that, creatine, which I don't take, but creatine has been proven to help with your strength gains. But just be wary of like the fat burners, because they don't work. You're just kind of pissing those out, to be honest with you. Yeah, they will get you hyped before a workout, because a lot of them have just energy boosters. But as far as fat burners, you're absolutely wasting your money with those. Unless you want to get hyped up before your workout, and it will give you energy, and it will kickstart your workout. But I don't mess with any of those myself. So just do your research in what you're taking. Look for a good company, and I believe I had a website. I think I'll verify this and I'll post it on my Facebook page, but it's called Science, something like Science Door, and they're not funded by anybody. They're just their own laboratory, and they actually rate every supplement. They test them in their labs to show you what's exactly in that supplement as far as percentage. So they say creatine, they give you how effective that dose is, and how it kind of goes through like a screening process, so you're not getting garbage. So just honestly, you don't need much. I would say protein powder. You can take those between meals, after workout. Again, just stick with a good company, and you should be good to go with that. But don't invest a ton of money in these supplements, because a lot of them just don't work. And don't get sold into anything without doing your research first. So yeah, let's see. Sorry, folks. Oh yeah, there was a study, because people were asking about drinking with weight loss. Well, yes and no. If you're a heavy drinker and you're not drinking like seltzers, which are very popular right now, or like a vodka and seltzer, you can lose some weight, but you will hit a plateau. And you could just do extra cardio depending on how much you drink, but you may just stay at a steady state. But there has been a study that came out, and I posted this on my Facebook page as well, that it took two groups of people, one that had moderate alcohol consumption and another group that had none, and they had a alcohol beverage at lunch and they had one at dinner, and they went through a HIIT protocol for 8 weeks, and both groups lost body fat and lost weight drinking moderate amount of alcohol. Now you're probably saying, what is moderate? Moderate in this study was literally 2 beers. It was like a beer at lunch and a beer at dinner time, or the equivalent in wine or whiskey. So take that with a grain of salt. That's all I'll say there. But generally speaking, you will not lose weight drinking, let's say, wine and beer and heavy amounts of mixed alcoholic drinks. They're actually working against you from losing any kind of weight. So just be careful with that. Just everything in moderation. And I know that's if you I won't get into it, but I was gonna say, if you know me, okay, this is the weirdest thing I've seen in a gym. Okay, well, I see a lot of weird crap in the gym, mainly what people are doing lifting wise, but I would have to say, hands down for me, the weirdest thing I've seen in my gym that I work at is I went into the bathroom door one time. I'm going to keep this PG. But there is a guy with his legs straddled up on the sink, washing his privates. So that was a very interesting moment to walk in on. And I've never seen anything like that. So that has to be, for me, just the weirdest. I got that image just burned in my head, image of that. So I got that. Yep, and that's about it. So again, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Anything that's on your mind, fitness-wise, any fitness fads you could think of, or things you've seen in the gym personally and you have questions about. No, I wish it was a loofah. It was like taking the running water and just kind of hand splashing it. It was disturbing behavior. And generally speaking, man, I have one rule in the men's locker room, or two rules, and they're very easy to remember. You walk into a men's room, it's towel up, eyes up. Simple. Put a towel on and keep your eyes up. So towel up, eyes up. That's it. You follow the two rules, you are good to go. So where was my train of thought there? And my son's ready to burst in the door. So, let me see. What have I ran into this week? Nothing is coming to my mind. So again, appreciate you guys listening. Anything else that you want to throw out there, just go ahead and let me know. I know it's been a very weird year as far as with everything going on and just getting your fitness in where and how you can, virtually, online, in the shadows, in the dark. And I know like a lot of people are into like 5K and marathon running, and a lot of those are done virtually now, and it's just a mess. But you have to stay active, and especially if you have kids, it's important to keep your kids active as well, because even before all this started happening, they only had PE that one day a week. And honestly, since they're doing virtual school, they are getting less and less and less activity. And there have been studies or stats being brought out there as far as like what percentage of kids are actually still being active. Yeah, thank you very much, Blaine. Happy belated birthday. It was my birthday yesterday, so I'm going to go for a huge bike ride tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't rain. And then I'm going to go into a meat coma tomorrow night and again on Saturday night. So looking forward to it. Hopefully, again, it doesn't rain. It's been raining a lot here lately. But yeah, so yep. Hold on 1 second. Hey, bud.
That's on my tablet.
There we go. But he just came from gymnastics, so he has been active. Go ahead. You step in here. You say hi to everybody. This is my son Quinn. Just came from gymnastics. He is a pretty active kid. I'll give him that. Thank you. We did some alphabet exercises earlier this week. He demonstrated a very good bear crawl that he actually got out of frame on, but it was a good effort, so I give him an A for that. All right. But yeah, I got to keep him active, and it's important this day and age. But I think youth leagues are still going on right now, like soccer starting to start up. Again, my kids are doing gymnastics, and my daughter's doing another cheerleading camp, so getting the ball rolling there. But yeah, anything else before we wrap it up? Yep.
No.
Again, hit me up during the week. If it's something that's based in diet and nutrition, just give me a chance to research all that, because I don't want to give you guys any of the wrong information. I want to give you correct, precise, up to date data on all that stuff. So, but if it's on the fly like I've had over the last couple of weeks, that is great. It's great for interaction. I'll just give you my honest opinion. And that's one thing I always pride myself on, is just being honest. Even though you may not want to hear that, that's the way I am. So, again, I appreciate everyone hopping on, logging on. So if you like the content, just go ahead and share it to your friends, like it and share it. And go check out my Instagram account at RealFitDad on the Instagram account. And I will have some bigger news coming up in the next week or so. Some very exciting news coming up. So again, everyone enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your exercise and your active and complete rest day. So until then, have a great week. I appreciate everybody out there. See you next week at 7.